Today was election day across Louisiana, and like everything else, things were different because of the pandemic. Poll workers wore masks, gloves, gowns, and face shields to protect themselves and voters, most of whom also wore masks to stay safe. Today's election was postponed twice because of the coronavirus. Because the election was pushed back so many months, Louisiana will play no role in the presidential nomination process. Tonight, President Trump easily won Louisiana's GOP primary, where he faced 4 other Republican candidates. Same story on the Democratic side, where Joe Biden also coasted to victory against 13 other Democrats on Louisiana's ballot. Most of them dropped out months ago, making today's Democratic primary just a formality. Democratic and Republican voters also cast ballots today for members of their state and local party committees. On the other hand, though, there was a hot race in St. Tammany Parish, where 5 candidates ran to replace Mandeville Mayor Donald Villery, who is term limited. The returns show Councilmember MARISSA likely headed into a runoff with businessman Michael Blosh. Blosh had the backing of the incumbent mayor. The runoff will be held August 15th. Voters on the East Bank of Orleans Parish cast ballots for a judgeship today. 5 candidates were running for a seat in the First City Court, which is important since they handle evictions, which are increasing because of the pandemic. The returns show HUTABARAT leading and a close race for second place with quite a few precincts still out. The top 2 candidates will head to the runoff in August. In all, there were close to 24 local races and issues on the ballot today. We have full results on WWLTV.com and our mobile app, as well as scrolling at the bottom of your screen.